Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. This is Steve Richards with Motor Trend Certified, driven by EasyCare. You know, most of my videos are done for sales managers, salespeople, in an effort to help them sell a car. Because let's face it, if they don't sell a car, finance managers don't have a job. However, from time to time, I will work with a finance manager who wants to make another $100 or $200 a car, and they're willing to try something just a little bit different. So, what I'm going to show you today is arguably the finest payment justification or payment objection handling strategy in the history of the automobile business. Now, I'd love to tell you I made this up, but I didn't. However, it took me 38 years in the business to find it. And I was a finance manager. As a matter of fact, I started in this business as a finance manager. My first day in the business, I took 27 turns. That was my first day in the business. 2 weeks before, I had been a bartender. A month before that, I had just finished graduate school. So I got baptized under fire. I was working in East Hartford, Connecticut. It was President's Day, and that was my first day in the business. In the middle of a big snowstorm, I might add, as well. So, while I haven't worked the desk for some time, I certainly understand what finance managers go through. And I have attended a number of different finance schools. And I've never seen anything quite like what I'm going to show you today. We'll make a couple of assumptions here. I know that not every deal comes into you with $25 or $30 or $40 worth of leg. I know oftentimes you're getting deals that are quoted to the penny. So let's say, for sake of example, our customer has purchased a $38,000 new vehicle, which is about the average price of a new vehicle these days. And they were closed at $516 a month on 60 months, which is about the average new car payment these days. And let's further say that that was at a 0% interest rate, being that there are so many 0% incentives out there right now. All right, so that's a quoted to the penny payment. I know you hate them, but I know you also get them. Now, let's further say you go through the menu presentation and a fully protected payment is $621. Now think about this for a second. Most customers, if you ask them this question, if your car breaks 5 years from now, would you like someone else to pay for the repair, or would you like to? What are most customers going to say? If you said, hey, if you blow a tire, would you like to pay for the replacement, or would you like someone else to pay for the replacement? If your car is totaled and there's a deficiency balance, would you like someone else to pay it, or would you like to pay it? If someone dings or dents your car, would you like someone else to fix and pay for the dings or dents, or would you like to do it? You get where I'm coming from. Literally everybody would take what you have to offer if they didn't have to pay for it. So the problem is helping the customer figure out a way to pay for it. Now let's further say that the $516 a month payment the customer's been quoted is the highest car payment they've ever had in their lives, which is more than likely the case. So you show them $621 and they say too high. Well, what do you do? Well, you could stretch out, attempt to get the customer to stretch out the term to 72 or 84, but any moron can do that. But let's say, for sake of example, the customer doesn't want to do that, and any smart customer wouldn't want to do that. You could ask them for more cash. It's not exactly revolutionary. Or you could do what most finance managers do. You could start taking away some of the protections until the customer says yes. Not only are you removing protections for the customer, you're removing gross profit for yourself and your dealership. All right? There is a better way. Now, let's make a couple of assumptions here. Let's make one big assumption. Let's say the customer can pay the $621. Okay, they just don't want to. Or they're just there's a psychological barrier there. I mean, they're $516, they've been closed at, it's the highest payment they've ever had. Now you're talking $621. They're just having a problem with that, okay? But they could make the payment, meaning they can afford it. And that's going to probably be the case more often than not. What we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to show your customer the payment in a completely different light. We're going to show you how to help the customer justify the 621. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to turn the camera onto a piece of paper. And this is the exact same sheet, or the graphics I'm going to use are exactly what I would use with a real life customer. Okay? Most of the time I'm teaching salespeople and sales managers how to do this, but it works every bit as well in the finance office. Okay? So hang tight, and next time you see me, I'll be talking to you after I've shown you how to do the math and tell the story for this really, really strong payment objection handling technique. Okay, Mr. Customer, I understand. You don't want to pay $621 a month. I hear you. $516 was the highest payment you've ever seen. However, let me ask you a question. The protections we've talked about, those would be nice to have, wouldn't they? Sure they would. I mean, it creates a fixed payment for you. For the foreseeable future, you're not going to spend any money cosmetically or mechanically in addition to your monthly payment. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something that's a little crazy. When I say this, you're going to say, what? But bear with me. Even though you're going to write a check every single month for $621 and send it to the lender, and you're going to do that 60 times, you're not going to pay $621 a month. Now, I know that sounds a little crazy. Has anyone ever told you, look, everybody knows automobiles and trucks are going to depreciate, and so is yours. You're buying a beautiful $38,000 vehicle, but it's going to depreciate. However, not everybody knows is there's a savings element to every single payment you're going to make. Look, a financial advisor, if they're talking to you about saving money, they're always going to say move yourself up the food chain, meaning pay yourself early in the month. If you wait to the end of the month to save money, you don't have anything left. Well, in essence, that's what you're doing. Every time you're going to make a payment on this vehicle, you're going to save money. Now, I know it sounds crazy. Let me explain how. Look, 5 years from now, after you've made that 60th payment, something's going to come back to you in the mail. Do you know what that is? Yes, exactly. It's the title to the vehicle, except it's going to be a free and clear title. It's only going to have your name on it. It's not going to have anybody else's name. Now, the question I've got for you is, what do you think this $38,000 vehicle is going to be worth in 60 months? I'm not talking about doing anything special to it, just driving it like you plan on driving it. I'm not talking about crashing it and trashing it, but I'm talking about if you just use it in a normal fashion, what do you think this vehicle is going to be worth? Okay? I think $15,000 is probably a fair estimate of the value. Might even be a little bit higher if you take better care of it, a little less if you don't take such good care of it. But here's the key. You're looking at paying $621 a month, writing out a check and sending it to a lender. And you think, like everybody I've ever talked to, you think the lender's going to keep all that money. But that's not the case at all. Because this $15,000 title that you're going to get back in the mail, which by the way acts just like a very expensive share of stock because you can trade it, you can sell it, or you can borrow against it. But you've got a $15,000 asset, all right? Now, if we divide that $15,000 by the term of the loan, which is 60 months, that's going to give us $250. Now, you know what that $250 represents? Yes, sirree. It represents the amount of money out of this 621 that is literally flowing back to your title every single month. So in essence, you got your 621 gross payment you'll make. $250 of it is being saved back to your title. So your net payment for this gorgeous vehicle and all the protections, this includes taxes, tag, title, license, everything. Your net payment will be $371 a month. Now, I need your permission to go ahead and print the paperwork with all the protections that we both agreed would be terrific for you. Now, that technique right there, which is called the net payment justification, It works terrific for new vehicles, but it is flat out awesome for used vehicles because so much of the depreciation on a used vehicle has already taken place. So the ending value at the end of the term is going to be a much higher percentage. Look, this is not voodoo economics. This is very basic math. There's two keys to making this work. Two keys to making it work way more often than not. And in order to get those keys, well, you'd have to have Steve come to your store and teach your sales team how to do it and or teach your finance team how to do it. But here's what I promise you. It's worth $100 to $200 a car in the F&I department and worth significantly more than that on the sales floor. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. This is the net payment justification, the best way on the planet to handle the payment objection. This is Steve Richards, Motor Trend Certified, driven by EasyCare. Thanks to F&I Fuel for this opportunity. All the best.